Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Phil's Corner Live. Welcome to the eBay football shirt hunting show here at Phil's Corner. We are back after last stream's, success, which I am not expecting us to top, because last time we found a USA 94 shirt on eBay for a very reasonable price. One of the biggest wins we've had here at Phil's Corner, without a doubt. I think probably second to the South Korea box T90 shirt, but USA 94 was not expecting to find that, and we did that live on stream. Can we replicate that? I doubt it. I doubt it sincerely, but we'll try our best. More welcome, especially if you're new. This is something which we do semi-regularly, kind of every other week on a Tuesday. And looking forward to jumping on eBay as we do. Brock, one of the regulars here, jumping in. And he says, thoughts on shirts that are templates and someone adds a crest and sponsor later to make it look authentic, like the team wore. If that makes sense, I can expand as needed. No, that makes sense, Brock. I would say it's a very contentious issue, and rightly so, because the general rule of thumb, I would say, is that if you have a template which is essentially badged up after the fact, that is going to be less valuable. Where it can get tricky is, of course, especially in lower down the divisions, many teams effectively do that. But if you, there's a lot of kind of issues, I think, with sites or people that do that, and then of course they basically want to make more money off these things, and then they add the crest afterwards. So I think that is a problem, because collectors or fans should know what they're getting. I can understand people doing that for their own collection. I think that can be quite a nice way of, if you've got a template lying around, you know, sorting the crest out yourself, getting someone to add a crest can be quite a nice thing to do. People even add sponsors now to things nowadays, but long and short, I think it is an issue, and sometimes you can tell. Sometimes if you know what you're looking for, you can ask someone who's a bit knowledgeable, and they might be able to show you or tell you that it's been added after the fact. But yeah, broadly speaking, it's not a good thing. Or at least what I would say is, if the seller makes it very clear that that's happened, that's good. But if it's ambiguous, it's not a good experience. And I think, again, you should always treat a shirt that's been badged up later as being at the price of the template, because, you know, in terms of value, and again, it gets complicated. We won't dive into it too much. Mudaman, good to see you, Mudaman. Says hello, glad to be here. Glad to have you here, and glad to have a nice little number of us tonight. I've not officially announced this yet. I will say this as we've got a few people here. My plan is probably in July to kick off weekly Phil's Corner episodes, much like we had at the start of the channel. So kind of magazine style shows, topical discussion, Q&A. Again, I'm pretty much ready to commit to that weekly. We've not done regular episodes for a while, partly because I've been busy and different things, but we're going to commit to that. The streams will still be happening. We'll still be doing eBay. We'll still be doing the Hot Wall, but that's exciting. And when that happens, I'll be announcing some exciting updates for the Patreon. There'll be a new shirt which I've just designed with Icarus. I'm very excited to see that. It's absolutely wild. It's by far the craziest shirt I've designed, and I'll have more details on that. But yeah, lots of stuff to come on the channel. I won't plug the Patreon too much because, again, there's going to be a bit of a push in July. But anyway, I think I will say subscribe as well. If you are new, maybe you're coming through Twitter or you've just stumbled across this somehow, please do jump on and hit the subscribe button, as someone has already done. David Taylor, welcome, David. Brilliant, Tyron. You nailed that. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Thank you, Dave, for the subscription. Right, I just realised Photoshop's open. I should probably close that because that is going to slow my computer down. Yeah, so we'll just get those closed. I don't want to show you behind the scenes what I'm designing. That'll be a bit too much. Guys, we're going to jump on eBay. Very, very simple plan tonight, and that is to find football shirts for good prices. Of course, as we do that, we will also be laughing at some of the fakes we see on eBay, and eBay's funny. eBay is chaotic at the best of times. As we start, this is the way I like to shop on eBay. Very simple. A general term such as football shirts. Auctions ending soonest though. Many other ways to shop on eBay. Some people like to do newly listed. Of course, if you're looking at specific teams, you should include that. But yeah, this is how I'm going to do it. As we start, one thing as well, not only buying shirts, but also seeing what shirts sell for. It's really important if you're in the community or in the space, and if you're a collector, it's good to know what kind of shirts, what kind of price shirts go for. So you see here, a Borough shirt, 2006, 2007, XXL, so quite a large size. Typically a shirt this size is going to go for much cheaper. Anything outside kind of medium to large, medium to XL maybe, you can usually get a bit of a discount. I will say this looks to be in very good nick, considering the age, things like the sponsor. Very, very good condition there. A few marks, a few stains, but in fact, yeah, quite a few stains. But you know, 26 quid. Honestly, that's probably a bit more than I'd expect, which makes you think, okay, in a good size, this shirt would actually, you know, you could be looking at easily 30, 40 quid. Tom, good to have Tom from the Shirt Union, one of the best accounts on Twitter. Big fan of what the Shirt Union do. I regularly get a lot of my news from those guys, from Tom and the guys there. So yeah, thank you, Tom. Good to see you here on the stream. So yeah, that's the Bow Show there. But if we continue, again, because of the way we've done this search, we're going to get a bit of everything. I don't have many memories of this England training top. I kind of like it, honestly. 20 quid's not exactly cheap. You know, it's kind of, if that was a tenner and maybe a large or medium, could be a nice pickup. I think there's a collectability to training tops. Of course, England ones over the years. If you get an old retro England stuff with like when they had when they were with Umbro, there's some really good stuff around that era. And Green Flag was the sponsor for quite a while. So that England training tops and training tops in general do have value. Gary McLaughlin, how's it going, Phil? Looking forward to what you find. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for tuning in. And guys, as we filter in again, warm welcome to Phil's Corner. Great to just hang out. This is a very chill stream. Please chuck in any questions in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. This is a nice find. Talking of Umbro, Nottingham Forest, 1992. So we're going back right to the early 90s. This is a textbook Forest shirt. It really is. Lots of nice features. You've got what looks to be either a jacquard or some sort of subliminal pattern. I'm not entirely sure, but that shininess in the body, in the fabric, is really nice. And you can see here, we've just ended the auction at 134 quid, which to me is not a bad price. Of course, we've not done a proper look. I would expect, that shirt to probably be around that, maybe a bit more. XL, again, it's not the typically I would say medium or large, you pay a slight premium, so that's probably around market value, maybe a bit less, I don't know for sure. If this was on classic football shirts, it would be well over this price. But I mean, what I will say is condition looks really good on this one. Again, you've got to consider this is a big variable with 90 shirts, is the condition. Sometimes you can get a big discount if you're willing to kind of take on a shirt essentially that has a bit of damage. This one actually looks to be in very good nick, I would say, across the board. Even things like the button are still there. So I like this pickup. I like this a lot. I think this seems like a very fair deal. Seller has good ratings, so someone's got a good deal. I mean, it's not a shirt I'd probably go for myself. If I'm spending this much, I'd probably want it to be for, I think anything this sort of price range, even if it's a good deal relative to market value, I'm not in a financial position to just pick it up on a whim. But yeah, I like it. Hey Joe, good to see Joe in chat, another regular. So a couple of nice English team shirts so far. If we scroll down, and let's have a look. Sampdoria, this is an interesting one, all the way from Bulgaria. Anyone who's been on eBay for any length of time will know there's a bit of a community around Eastern Europe. Often, again, some pretty decent sellers, pretty good deals to be had. I couldn't tell you what year this Sampdoria shirt is. Seems to me like a very, very cheap price. Now, it's funny, with a team like Sampdoria, a lot of their shirts kind of blend into ones. If we head over to old football shirts, which is my personal go-to reference site, there's many on the internet, but I like old football shirts, not Sampdoria. I like old football shirts, community driven, so there are sometimes gaps. But if we look here, this is a fun game. Guess the year of the Sampdoria shirt. I think the collar is going to be the biggest help there. Again, I'm doing this on the fly, and it's not that because it's got the lace. I honestly don't know where this is. Is it later? Are we looking at something? Okay, so this explains why it was actually a bit cheaper. So this is actually 2003. So again, kind of past Sampdoria's golden era, which is funny because I kind of got duped with the sponsor there and the ASICs. And of course, if you go back again with the ERG sponsor and ASICs, these kind of shirts, 91, 92, you're looking at, nothing crazy, but certainly closer to 3 figures. So actually, this is more in line with market value, especially when you take into consideration 10 quid delivery. So there we go. But again, I'd really recommend, and again, I say this every stream, but have a site like Old Football Shirts open when you're shopping on eBay. Do your research. Sometimes even just like searching on Twitter, like, again, you want to know exactly the year you're buying the shirt, because most people, they don't include the year, and I don't really blame the seller particularly. You look at this Sampdoria shirt, some people they just don't include information, and from this example, a 2003 shirt is just going to be worth less than something earlier, typically. So that's, even myself, a good lesson there. We can see here this United shirt getting 50 quid again. I'm getting distracted, but I will look because I'm just curious to see. I don't honestly remember this United shirt at all. 38 away. I genuinely have so little recollection of that. Bit of a kind of, is that a bit of a Volt lime green accent colour there. Pretty sweet. I do like that old chunky Umbro logo. Premier League badges, Beckham name set. Pretty good deal there, 55 quid. That to me seems like a bit of a bargain. We continue, guys. We continue. Let's actually try and get in on some auctions. Again, this is a classic problem for me. I end up getting so distracted that I actually miss bidding on stuff. So you can see here, this is crazy that I assume this is going to be a remake. It does say retro, which to me is code for a remake, or dare I say it, a fake. I mean, I would assume it's an official remake based on the pictures there. Yeah, it almost certainly is. Again, it's not a hard and fast rule, but if a listing says retro, you kind of already assume it's going to be a remake, or I do at least. Not always, but again, Arsenal, of course, have done a number of very good remakes with Adidas, and some of them are almost completely indistinguishable. Usually the sponsor placement will be a bit different, and there are tells like inside label, etc., but it's not always easy to spot those differences. This AC Milan shirt was just nothing too special. 25 quid. That's probably, again, slightly below market value, I would say. Not really much there. I think that's about what the shirt is worth. The condition's okay. I can't get too excited about this one. As much as I do love, what I will say is Adidas in this era were actually quite cool. This was kind of at least on their player spec level. You had the Tech Fit and Full Motion constructions, which were quite pioneering at the time. But even on the replica level, and the climacal that you see here on the bottom right, the paneling of the shirt's kind of interesting. So yeah, this is a plain shirt, but if you've not got hold of an early 10s Adidas shirt, I would recommend you picking one up just to have a look at it. Get, as I say, if you're someone who's into kind of technology, shirt technology, it's quite fun sometimes. Again, just picking up a shirt from an era, and sometimes you'll be surprised at some of the differences. Like you see, for example, like I won't try not to ramble on too much, but the visible stitching that you see on the paneling, and it makes for an interesting design. Is it a good shirt? I don't think it's too exciting. I do like the triple coloured, also the double coloured, dual coloured, whatever the word is. 3 stripes. Don't know what I had in mind. Might fart then. But yeah, so a shirt as simple as this. Honestly, at 25 quid, I'd be tempted. Probably needs something like a name set to get me really excited. Interesting to see a signed shirt here. I would always say to people, a signed shirt, at least for me, is typically less valuable from a personal perspective. Now, if it's a team you support, maybe it's from a historic season, I can see the appeal. This one does seem to be, signed by a lot of people. And the other thing which I think I would say with signed shirts and the kind of advice, you'd always want a certificate of authenticity, something to authenticate the signatures. Now, this looks pretty legit, of course, But without that certificate, I mean, this clearly has a lot of bids as well. Yeah, so I personally stay away from signed shirts. It's not something I really get into. A lot of people do ask me questions about them, and so it is quite a popular area, especially for kind of more casual collectors. You know, people who maybe they just want one or two shirts on the wall. A signed shirt is quite appealing. You do pay quite a lot for them, and I always, personally, again, stay away from them. But interesting to see that, and again, lots of activity there. 16 bids, 74 quid. So clearly, there's a market for this particular one. Interesting to see. Now, this is supposedly a genuine Spurs shirt, and I must say, I'm immediately drawn in by this because it is a hummel shirt. Now, here we go, guys. This is one to research. We've only got 7 minutes. We're on the clock, but there's a lot to be intrigued by. Now, of course, we're looking at a hummel shirt. Not only that, but we've got number 8 on the back. According to listing, that's gazza. It makes sense if it was gazza. I'd have to do my research. From memory, that is the correct inside label. And I will say the hummel logo as well looks pretty good. That looks real to me at first glance. Could be an elaborate fake, but honestly, that looks good. The league patches look pretty good. I like the look of this one quite a lot. And I'm surprised it's only at 10 quid. Now that almost gives me pause for thought, but I mean, yeah, there is a reserve. But I think this is one, guys, where basically we're going to do a speed bit of research, 6 minutes. So let's read the description. Genuine Spurs shirt, which is bought from the club shop, excellent condition, still. I mean, honestly, that nothing. There's things you look out for in listings. There's nothing which looks dodgy to me there. It looks like a human's written it, basically, is the big thing. The seller, they don't have many, again, not many, no other items, but on a positive note, they're not selling tons and tons of retro shirts for cheap prices. So I'm liking the look of this a lot. Again, we've only got 5 minutes, so we'll try and do as much as possible. Firstly, let's just, again, we've got 5 minutes. Who knows what the reserve is? I mean, a genuine shirt like this with that number, and again, there is some damage there, but I mean, this is easily, I like, my guess for market value would be in the 150 to 200 range. Now that's a pure, I've not again looked properly, but given the age of the shirt and the hummel, I do have a bit of a thing for hummel. You can see here, so there is notable damage to that front detail, but other parts of the shirt look really good. Even the crest isn't too bad, and we can also look at the number, which matches the style here. So I'm feeling really good about this one in terms of its authenticity. Again, given the time constraints, it's hard to kind of fully say this is definitely real, but I like the look of that a lot. What I would like to do ideally is actually try and find the shirt to establish a bit more about a price, because again, well, you can see here, so here we go, according to Classic, they've got one on for $250. Now, same size, so that's useful to know. Worth pointing out, of course, Classic are much more expensive, so you have to kind of take off 20% at least, I would say. But that's okay, so that kind of matches up with my thinking. I was thinking 150 to 200. I think given the number and how good condition that is in, it appears to be original. I think 200 is actually a good price. Now, will I bid that? I don't think I'll go in for that. I've had some other big purchases recently, but I cannot resist getting this one. I think under 100, I'd be feeling pretty good. Again, well, I think just immediately, and what's funny when I do this live, of course you guys are going to see what I'm bidding. You're very welcome to outbid me. Please feel at liberty to do that. If we stick in like a 60 quid, I'll be more than happy at 60 quid. Now I would guess the reserve is much higher than this, so we're going to stick in the bid. And you can see here, we're the highest bidder, but the reserve's not been met. Now I would guess the reserve is going to be close to, I'd say maybe 100, 150. if the seller's done a bit of research, they've probably seen the shirt again in places like Classic. If I was a Spurs fan, I'd be going absolutely crazy right now, because this is like, we can safely say, based on the limited research I've had, this is an absolute steal. At least if it's anything under 100, even 150, I would say is good, given the relatively good condition. So, I mean, if you do a bit more research, you can see another one on eBay for 100, 250, I got 200. So it's pretty, like, again, there could be a bit of late activity, but this is an unbelievable price. If I had a bit more budget, I would happily just buy this one and sell it on, even if it was, I think, under 150. Well, I'd probably stretch to 100. Honestly, again, I think it's too good of a deal at 100 to pass up. And I think I would be quite comfortable probably buying it, photographing it, and then trying to sell it on for kind of 150. I think I'd be quite comfortable doing that. I wouldn't necessarily get that. I might get less, I might get more. But I think at that price, I couldn't say no. Of course, the reserve might be more. Of course, someone might outbid us. But I think I'm quite happy to go in at around 100, just over 100. Almas, I can lower the music, indeed, yeah, if you give me 1 second. Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Let's go to kind of 40. There we go. Let me know if that's better, Almas. Yeah. So, let's have a go. Let's do 101. And again, we might easily, we might be well under the reserves here. So it looks like we're in at 100, and it looks like the reserve has been met, I think, if I've read this correctly. Now, of course, we might get outbid. I am honestly, this is a 100 quid. I'd be really happy with that price. It's not a small amount of money, but I think I can comfortably say that the market value, and again, that's a bit of a nebulous term, but that the market value is closer to 150, 200. Thanks, Amos. Cat salesman, so quiet. Is that me? I'm quiet. If I am, I apologise. My levels aren't always very good. Unless you mean so quiet activity on the show. Cat salesman. So we've got 20 seconds to go. We're still the highest bidder, and again, 100 quid is a ridiculous price for this shirt, given the condition. Now, again, we'll have to see it in person and double check it's legit. But I'm amazed at the price of this one, and it's looking good, unless there's a late bid, which is very possible. I think we've got it there, guys. And again, 100 quid is no small amount of money, but given the shirt, I would say that is an absolute steal. Still determining the winner. Volume at no wise. Again, if it is me, honestly I think I need to sort out my audio and make sure it's a little bit more consistent. So there we go, we won. I am genuinely, but like sometimes you get a shirt and you're like, I just can't. That's the best 100 quid I spent on a shirt in a long time. Wow. I mean, the headline there, that is less than half price. Now again, it's a lot of money. I'm in a privileged position to be able to spend this on a shirt which I know I won't keep longer term, given that I'm a Liverpool fan. But what a nice shirt. I mean, I'm looking at Classic here, so let's go back to it. What a shirt just to pick up. What looks to be, and again, we'll get it in person, but a genuine Hummel shirt from 1989 with original patches and number. 100 quid. It's crazy that eBay is really delivered. What a steal, says Almas. I can't believe it, for 2 weeks in a row. And again, it's still 100 quid, so it's not cheap, but I mean, unbelievable. Crazy price. I'm genuinely shocked. I really expected that to go up much closer to 150. Maybe I'm missing something obvious. I mean, I've seen a lot of Hummel logos in my time. That looks good to me. Yes, there is damage on this portion of the shirt, but to be honest, I'd rather have a good, clean manufacturer logo and lose out on the detail there. The crest, I mean, could be a lot worse. Look at the number. Honestly, you know, one of my favourite things, guys, and again, I talked about selling the shirt for profit. For me, part of the excitement of a shirt is just getting it in person, having it in your hands, and I love just photographing the shirt. You'll always have that, you know, those photos to kind of, you know, use for content and things like that. And again, I'm quite confident I can make a bit of profit selling that one on. And even if I didn't, even if I just sold it for this price again, what a find. I can't believe it. People, Spurs fans missed out there, I tell you. Yeah, amazing. I'm still shocked. We did it. We got another. Like, after the USA show last time, I'll tell you, eBay is I've always enjoyed eBay, but it's looking particularly good at the moment. Man, well, there we go. We've already blown 100 quid. And we're only halfway through. Crazy. I'll tell you what. We are on fire, guys. USA 94, followed by Spurs 1989. Crazy pickup. Once again, like, that shirt again on Classic. That's a £300 shirt. Other sites 200 to 250, probably 250 given the name set. 200 at best. So we have yeah, really happy with that. Crazy price for that shirt. Yeah, we'll check it. We'll double check it when it comes. But I'm feeling really good about it. Nice. Well, I mean, we could end the night there, but we won't. We'll keep going. Definitely want to be conscious of budget, given that we've just spent 100 quid. But you know, we'll see. My philosophy is always we can always sell a couple of shirts to fund new purchases. That's kind of my take. Inter Milan. I'm a big fan of Inter shirts. I'm not really kind of collecting all. I've not got a huge collection of Inter shirts that are kind of backdated very far, but I've collected quite a few over the years, and they're a team I'm quite partial to. This shirt isn't too exciting to me, but at that price, that's quite good. So I think given that price, I mean, it does have signs of wear. It's a medium, which is a good size. It'll run a bit large, most likely. But at this kind of price, I like it. And honestly, despite, you know, we don't have much to go on here. If we can snag it, I mean, it's already at 14. I'm just going to stick it at 18 quid. Honestly, it's probably worth a bit more. Although the condition, you know, is used. 17 quid, I'll be happy with that. You know, again, the shirt, nothing too exciting, nothing to write home about. We've been outbid, that's okay. We'll see what this ends on. Yeah, this shirt, I mean, again, if I was to value it, I'd say it's probably around 20 to 30 quid. Maybe a bit more. If it was in good condition, it'd be worth more. At this price, this feels about the kind of value. Yeah, you can see the stains. I mean, the seller's been very plain and kind of saying 6 out of 10. That's kind of fair. So the auction ends. 20 quid, 24 quid, so with postage, so not bad at all. Not too gutted to miss out on that one. We go again. I still can't believe this shirt was 100 quid. I'm sorry, that is just eBay is just for all its faults, it has been good to us last couple of weeks, or last couple of streams I should say. Unbelievable seats. Crazy to see like retro shirts, be it like score draw shirts in XXL. So like clearly these are popular designs, because isn't that what they usually retail at? Or maybe, I guess it is something small, right? It's really interesting to me, the growth of the retro remake market. It's obviously quite common now. Most clubs have them, and the prices of them are very high. So it's interesting that there's actually a second-hand market. I mean, it's got tags and stuff, but yeah, that's quite interesting to me. Right, let's continue. I mean, again, given what we've already achieved tonight, I'm not going to be in a rush to get any more shirts, but we'll still look. We will still look. Tulsa Roughnecks. Now, this is an interesting design. I'm not aware of this this particular shirt. I assume it's like a training shirt, but it says it's. I mean, Killer Kits. They do have quite a few shirts on eBay. Tulsa Roughnecks. I mean, let's have a look. Let's see if we can. I mean, we've only got 3 minutes, but again, we'll do the same tricks we did last time. Let's try and find the shirt. Basically, find pictures of the shirt. Now, to me, well, I don't know if that was a genuine shirt. You'd expect. I mean, there's nothing there. Okay, I have no knowledge of the Tulsa Roughnecks. So there is another one on eBay, 75 quid. Another one here, leisure t-shirt. Yeah. So we didn't want to get too carried away. As I say, I had the feeling it had the look of a training wear, so it's leisure wear. Very cool piece, and to me, it's 11 quid. Worth a pickup if you're kind of into your American stuff. And it looks to be a genuine 80s animal piece, so quite a nice. To me, it is still quite a nice pickup. Not something I'll go for, but I mean, look at that hilarious logo. The lad there with a big old wrench. That's brilliant. And there is, honestly, I'm a big fan of these. Whether it's early MLS or even pre-MLS designs, logo designs, shirt designs. Very cool pickup. Not something we'll bid on. We'll just watch and see what it goes for out of interest. Let's continue. I feel like these shirts are quite nice as well. This era, I spoke about Adidas before. I quite enjoyed their take when they were mixing up the 3 stripes here. I want to see 70 quid. Assuming that's genuine, seems like a good price. I won't bid for it. I wouldn't say it was in kind of crazy bargain territory, but that seems to me, I would expect that to have interest at the 70 quid mark. Yeah, maybe there's something else I'm missing there. We won't dwell on it. We will continue. Guys, a reminder, if you are watching and you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And also, if you enjoy this stream, please leave a like. Helps out quite a lot with people seeing the stream, both now and on catch up. But thank you for tuning in. Any questions, stick them in chat. I'll do my best to answer them. We'll be here for another 20 minutes or so. We've already had, I am just amazed. This is, again, another one of my best eBay finds. A fully badged up Spurs shirt. Like, I guarantee I'm going to get this, I'm going to photograph it on Twitter, and I'm going to make some people jealous. Basically. I'm just amazed. I cannot, like, yeah, love it. Tulsa Roughnecks, it went for 26 quid in the end, so quite, I mean, that's the thing. A good deal for the shirt, even though it's a leisure wear shirt. It was on for much more online, so nice pickup. You can see the market there for just a leisure wear piece. This Arsenal shirt, I'm not going to stay on it too long. You can see here 78 quid. Now that's the thing, right? It's crazy to me. I cannot believe, as much as I like this Arsenal shirt, this, and again, without getting into the rivalry, typically I would say Arsenal have had better shirts over their history, but there is no competition between these two shirts here, and maybe this isn't real and I've just missed an obvious tell. I think it is real, but we can always return it if it is fake. I cannot believe that this shirt is only 100 quid and this is just 12 quid, sorry, 12 quid, 22 quid. Good maths. 22 quid cheaper. For an extra 22 quid, you get an older shirt. It's got a name and number on the back. It's got league patches. It is just a much more interesting design. I would argue a more iconic sponsor, as good as JVC is. It's just, I think there's this thing which I've observed ever since I started collecting, and it makes sense. I think in any hobby or any kind of collecting field, when it comes to kind of prices of shirts, if you're able, and again, if you're in a fortunate position to be able to afford 3 figures on the shirt, that is a lot. Not everyone can do that, of course. I've not always been able to do that myself. But if you're able to stretch your budget or your collecting kind of kitty a little bit further, the caliber of shirts you can get just increases significantly. And that's not throwing shade at all on bargain pickups, and I'm all about that as well. But it just, I think this is a real kind of eye-opener just for me, seeing, again, it's not always the case, but what an extra 20 quid basically gets you. Again, Arsenal are very popular, there is all that, and maybe the shirt is rare than I give it credit for. It is a very nice shirt, but it's got damage, it's not perfect, as this Spurs shirt is. Anyway, interesting. I'll try not to gloat in my find too much. I hope I'm not doing that too much, but fascinating. Every day is a school day. Now this Argentina shirt, it doesn't look that old. If it was like actually an old vintage shirt from the 70s, that'd be quite cool. I mean, maybe it is. It looks kind of fairly new to me. We won't stick around too long. The design's not too interesting either. A reminder, guys, if you have any questions, ping them in chat. We'll be here for a little bit more. Let's see what else we've got. I mean, I'm honestly, after that Spurs shirt, I'm pretty happy not to spend any more money tonight. Interesting Kievo. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that's better. Interesting Kievo show. Honestly, some of those shirts are pretty wild. Whether it's the quite horrible sponsors which they've shoved on there. Javova, a brand who are quite niche. The alternate crest which they have, the little ladder crest, and of course the club colours. It's a very interesting shirt. Not, again, at this price, that's kind of fair. Slightly below what you'd expect to see it listed elsewhere, but nothing crazy. Nice potential bargain pickup there. And again, Killer Kit's quite a prominent seller on eBay. And they've always, you can always appreciate that they'll tend to start the listings, well, nice and low. So you've got opportunities for nice pickups. Just scrolling through. A lot of these auctions are ending in a couple of days, but there's some nice potential items. Definitely one, sellers like this, and there's lots of other sellers who are quite, they shoot the shirts quite nicely. Good photos, and you basically know what you're getting. And there's always opportunities for bargains. Alan says, could you help me with a legit check, Phil? Sure, Alan. Yeah, if you what's the best way of doing it? I mean, sadly, I don't think you can post links in the chat, can you? If it's on eBay, let me know. Maybe just like copy and paste the listing, or I guess ping me on Twitter DMs. I don't know what's the easiest way. Yeah, so absolutely happy to do that. If we can figure it out, as I say, I might. Maybe I don't know if I can change the settings on my chat to allow links. I don't think I can. But yeah, happy to give my 2 cents, Alan. Just as a side point, always interesting when a player retires or there's news about a player. It's a good time to sell the shirt if you weren't planning to keep a shirt, because of course there's going to be a bit of interest. People do just, again, Ibra after the news he's retiring. I don't have kind of hard numbers for this, but I've noticed anecdotally people will try and pick up shirts from that player if they've got the name set and that sort of thing. So yeah, you can see this Puma third shirt, which actually was for me probably the most interesting of the Puma third shirts, the much lambasted Puma third shirts. But I quite like I actually had the AC Milan version. I was sent one, so I did get to see it in person. I quite liked it actually. With the EMA name set there. Nice addition, 65 quid. You'd expect that to go a bit more again, given the slight premium that EMA shirts are going to command now, given his retirement news. This Leipzig shirt, I quite like this as a kind of fairly contemporary design. The price here seems quite reasonable as well. Looks legit from what I can see. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. Well, there's no obvious. I mean, the photo quality is pretty bad. I'm not 100%. We'll move on, but that's one maybe to investigate further. I mean, at that price, it is worth a punt, to be honest. eBay are pretty good at dealing with fakes. If you do get sold one. Camilla. Hello. Sorry, however you say your name. I'm going to say Camilla. Welcome to the stream. For those who are tuning in later, we have had, we actually did it, guys. After the USA 94, we found a 1989 Spurs shirt with name and patches for 100 quid. Ridiculous price. Like, that's easily market value, I would suggest, based on what I've seen, 250 to 300. Maybe 200 to 250 at a conservative estimate. So to get it for that price, it's easily one of our best ever finds. Lightning has struck twice. I didn't think we could do it, but we did. Crazy find. As we begin to round off the stream, we've got a few more minutes. I will just have a look at this New Zealand shirt. Now, I am partial to Kiwi kits. I have dual citizenship in New Zealand, so they're one of a few nations I do follow. This Kiwi shirt is kind of fun. Not really what I'm going for, but 30 quid, it's not a bad price if you're into keeper kits. Very simple, but the padding is always a good laugh. If you actually, again, it'll be a very niche collection, but maybe you do collect noughties, goalkeeper shirts, or national team goalkeeper shirts. I would be surprised if this shirt is sold many other places, and that's the joy of eBay. You do get very random pickups like that at reasonable prices. Good old Fabian Delph there, one of the crazier city designs with Nike. The double decker. This is a cool city shirt. At this price, honestly, seems like a decent price. Certainly less than I expect to see this for. A really cool, very typically Umbro shirt here. With a reserve, we can see here. That is definitely a kind of shirt which I would keep an eye on, particularly if you're a City fan. But I don't know the market value of this. I would guess probably 120 plus. Again, if I was to put a price on it, I'd probably say you're looking at maybe 150 on classic, if not more, to be honest. So about 120, 150 elsewhere. I mean, I think that's quite nice. Looking at there's potentially some damage to the crest. Looks like a bit of damage, and a few pulls. So I think that's probably keeping this one, possibly even, it's hard to get a good grip, but it certainly looks legit. And again, one which I would keep an eye on if you're a City fan. Again, like we did with the Spurs shirt earlier, do your due diligence. Basically, it's very simple, guys. Just try and find the shirt elsewhere, and if you can find the shirt elsewhere, you get an idea of what the shirt is worth. Because the last thing you want to do is start throwing in bids, and then the auction ends, you go elsewhere, and you realise, oh wow, that shirt was actually available, from a reputable seller for less than the price I bid. You want sorry, went down the wrong hole. you want to avoid feels bad moments like that. It's common sense, but honestly, sorry, still struggling. It's common sense, but you do, it's worth. There we go. Worth repeating. Sorry, genuinely should have taken a proper gulp of my tea there rather than struggling through. Anyway, I think we'll have a few more pages, but Andrea, it's good to see you missed a cracker. Do go and rewatch this ridiculous find. I still can't believe the price we got this shirt for. £100 for 1989 Spurs with patches and number. Unbelievable scenes. Yeah, so you missed a good one there, mate. Be good to see you. Yeah, I mean, after that find, I'm very happy just to scroll through a bit more, but let's do one more page, perhaps. Brilliant. Another score draw shirt, which is getting activity. Fully expect Castor to do a remake of this at some point. Guys, outside of these streams, of course, don't forget, I'm regularly sharing stuff on Twitter, of course. But excitingly, as I announced at the start of the stream, we're going to be going back to regular Phil's Corner episodes. The plan is, most likely from July. I'll announce it soon. But weekly episodes, basically, I'm calling it like the classic Phil's Corner episodes. So we're talking, magazine style, a bit of Q&A with you guys at the start, some sort of topical theme. Sometimes talking about history, sometimes current stuff, just collecting, things like that. Should be really cool, and I'm excited to just be having regular videos because we've not done that for a long time. It's been, what has it been, a year, 2 years since we've done that. So excited to do that, and that's coming up very soon. When that happens, I will also announce updates to my Patreon. There's going to be a brand new shirt which I've designed with Icarus. It's by far the craziest shirt I've ever designed, so I'm very excited. I mean, my patrons, they know already. They're in the Slack. They've seen the design. I basically had an open brief to just create the craziest shirt I could. I went for it. So that's coming up. Lots of cool stuff on the channel. But thanks for hanging out. Still got a few minutes for questions, so any last minute questions, stick them in the chat as we close. Shout out to David Taylor, our new subscriber as well. Great to have you as part of Phil's Corner. And I will just say, guys, just thank you for your support. Again, the channel's been kind of ticking over. We don't have regular videos. We're not an active channel by YouTube standards. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be talking about shirts for a long time. And again, the channel is very much still going, even though we're not as active as we could be. Looking at my volume here, I do look very quiet on the mic. Let's have a look. Yeah, sorry. It looks like I was actually just a bit low on my volume, and that's probably been the case for the whole stream. If it has, that is my bad. Anyway, thank you guys again. Yeah, I've just noticed the level. Maybe I'm too hot now, too high. Still figuring out my new setup. Thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Much better. Yeah, man, that's a big error. And to be fair to Almas and Cat Salesman, yeah, I was just too low. Never mind. We go again. Technical issues aside, thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for your company. As you go, leave a like if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and thanks, Andres. Yeah, honestly, my problem is with my current setup, I don't have a good way of testing. Basically, I'd need to actually just figure out a new kind of workflow which will allow me to test my volumes before. I mean, it's a simple thing. I spent a whole degree studying music technology, which involved this sort of technical stuff. And it's funny how sometimes when you just do stuff in the wild, you forget even the most basic things. Anyway, I won't bore you with that. But thank you, Andreas. Yeah, no, we'll fix it. Hopefully I'll just remember to do this next time. Thanks, guys. I will see you very soon. Have a good rest of your evening, rest of your week. We will most likely be back for the Hot Wall next. Well, not this Thursday, the Thursday after. So I'll announce the schedule. I'll post the schedule as I usually do on Twitter and on the YouTube community page. All the best there, guys. I will see you for the next one. Take care.